Hello everybody, my name is Tenelin and welcome to another leveling guide for Dawntrail, this one focusing exclusively on crafters. If you'd like to check out my other guide for gatherers, it'll be linked in the description. First off, prep work. I would recommend that you are at least halfway through the MSQ for most of these methods, and you will have to be past the level 97 MSQ to be able to do any of the scrip or collectible exchanges, as that is where you unlock the vendor. I will do my best to keep spoilers to a minimum, but keep in mind that there will be very minor spoilers, such as the names of materials and some maps that may be shown. I'll only show up to map 4, as well as briefly the collectible exchange in the level 97 hub city. As always, with crafting especially, you want to make sure you have your food buff for the 3% more experience gain, your squadron or your FC buff for up to 20% more experience gain, and a revised engineering manual for up to another 75% more experience gained. Now these are consumable. Every 2 million experience that you earn via them, they will be removed, so you will have to stock up a little bit on these, but I do think they're well worth it for only 30 purple scrips. All of these will help reduce the amount of crafts and cost of getting all of your crafters leveled. Currently, all of the materials that you need for any of the crafts above level 90 are very expensive, and so my recommendation, if you're guild conscious, is to level up all of your gathering jobs first and be able to gather all the materials that you'll need yourself. I will be providing a lot of macros, and they'll all use these stats that I grabbed from Teamcraft's website. These will allow you to hit breakpoints on a lot of these crafts, so I recommend having these exact or higher stats. All of the macros that I create are with these stats in mind. If you don't have these, meld your gear accordingly or grab some food to hit these breakpoints. If you have higher stats than these, please make sure to run a trial synthesis to ensure that they work for you as well and don't complete the craft too early. Honestly, I recommend always running a trial synthesis on anything in case there are any mistakes. These macros are not necessarily perfect, so please double check them and let me know if you find any mistakes in the comments, and I'll do my best to try to fix them. Let's get to method 1. Collectables. This method is the tried and true, and one that most of you are probably familiar with. You're going to be crafting up rarefied versions of items to turn them into a collectible appraiser to earn some scripts and a ton of experience. For any of the level 91 or 93 collectibles, as long as you have the stats that I provided before, you'll be able to use the macro provided below or on my screen here to be able to craft these items with no high quality pre-materials. What I personally did for a lot of my jobs was to get them to level 92 via any of the other methods in this video, and then crafted a large number of the level 93 collectibles to push me as far as I could go. I preferred this method as I didn't have to run around gathering up various different items for each tier as I progressed, and it required no high quality materials on a one button macro. If you'd like though, with the same stats provided, you can use this macro for a level 95 collectible using one high quality pre-crafted material. As well, there is one for the level 97 collectibles, but this one does require all high quality pre-materials. All of these macros will be linked in the description in a Google Sheet that you'll be able to take a look at for all of the video for all macros that I have. Again, always test them out with trial synthesis to make sure that I have not made any mistakes, and if I have, please just let me know and I'll do my best to fix them. As you turn in your collectibles, you'll get purple scripts, which I recommend buying the level 11 materia. Based on previous expansions, I would aim to have approximately 3 control to 2 craftsmen to 1 CP. If you have something at that ratio, while it's not a golden ratio, it's a decent way to go about buying materia until those that are smarter have the time to put together a comprehensive melding guide for us. Once something like that does come out, I will add that to the description, so if you're watching this maybe a week into the future, you will find that down below. Now, let's talk even more about those amazingly intelligent people who have graced us with this guide as we move on to our next method, Leves. I want to give a huge thanks to anybody in the Final Fantasy XIV community that helped put together this document. This is an amazing resource that will pretty much lay out exactly what you need to do if you just want to do Leves. I will link this down in the description as well. This sheet breaks down exactly everything that is the best way to do your crafter leveling via Leves. It shows you which one is the best, the materials you'll need, and how many, as well as the number of Leve allowances you'll need for each job. To top it all off, They've created a team craft list that gives you exactly all of the items that you'll need to gather and craft in order to get from 90 to 100 with this method. I can't add much to this, other than to tell you that if this is your preferred method of leveling, check this document out. There are more than 100 allowances needed if you're looking to do all of your crafters though, so this one will take a little bit of extra time if this is the only method that you're going to be doing. Keep in mind, anytime you're doing leaves, you need to make sure you're handing in high quality crafts. I've put together some macros for each of the different leveled leaves in that same Google document that I had my other macros that's in the description. Our next method is high quality in-demand materials. This can either be a gill making method or a supplemental method for yourself for leveling. For the previous options, both collectibles and leaves, you'll occasionally need to get some high quality pre-crafted materials to be able to fully craft the items. You're completely able to just buy the items off the market board if that's your style, or you're able to craft them yourself and get a nice boost of experience as well as save yourself a decent chunk of gil. I enjoy crafting up all of my pre-materials myself because even the level 91 crafted materials, such as the mountain linen, can give you about 500,000 experience per craft, and that adds up quickly. On my weaver, I crafted 50 high quality versions of these for a total of 25 million experience, which was level 91 and level 92 completed. Now, you are able to use this method to make some gil, taking advantage of the fact that some people don't like doing this and they're happy to buy the materials off the market board. For example, you're able to easily gather a good amount of mountain flax quickly with a lower level botanist, maybe one that still needs to be leveled up, and craft those into high quality mountain linen, which is listed for about 10,000 gil a piece right now. Now I do expect that price to go down, so please make sure you're checking out your own market board, but the best part of this is that you're able to double dip. You get to level your gathering class, your crafter job, and it costs little or no gil whatsoever, and if the materials don't end up selling, you can always use them to keep leveling up your jobs. This is just kind of one of those methods that you're able to do early in expansion where you can potentially take advantage of the fact of the demand and make a little extra gil, and if you don't, you just end up using the materials yourself and you already leveled a little bit by crafting them. Like I said, this is more of a supplemental method, but it can be 100% a method that you're able to do from 90 to 100 as well, if it's more your style. It will take a little bit longer, but it is a cheap and easy option to do. You can just gather one type of material, do one type of craft, and have one single macro while you're doing something else on another screen. Macros for this will of course be in the description as well. Your next method, method 4, is the Wachumeqimeqi Quests. If you've seen my gathering guide, this will be the same section as that one, as there's not much difference between the gatherer and crafter. The Wachumeqimeqi are a new, one-time delivery quest storyline that is similar to the one added during Shadowbringers. They are fun, easy, collectible-based questlines where you're in charge of helping out these shopkeepers with various tasks. While they can provide a decent amount of experience, they aren't the best way to get levels, but they are cute and enjoyable quests that double as a great way to get some early scripts, or help you get a little bit of experience between some of your levels. To start these, you'll talk to Ropely to be introduced and pick up the shops related to the job you want. Just as a note, the quests are level 90, 93, 95, 98, and 100, and they are tied behind the MSQ. And for crafters specifically, there are only 3 of the quest lines that you can do, and they are one-time completions, where each of the quest lines does have multiple crafters underneath of its umbrella. So just keep this in mind. In particular, I would focus on things that cost a lot more, such as leather worker, on doing these quests, and leave the other ones to some of the simpler methods. Either way, I would always recommend doing these quests because they are fun and they're nice little storylines, and there's some titles tied behind them, so you might as well take advantage of doing them while you can also gain some experience. These collectibles will be similar to the macros in the collectible section, but as always, make sure to run trial synthesis on them before crafting. Our next method is custom deliveries. Custom deliveries are a weekly turn-in questline that can get you a decent chunk of experience for only the cost of a little time. For crafters specifically, they actually do provide the materials that you'll need for just a little bit of gil from the vendor next to them, so they're very easy and very quick to do. The amount of experience for the amount of effort is well worth it, but it's not going to get you a ton because you can only do 2 NPCs per week. giving 6 deliveries per NPC. In that case, for this one in particular, Andon is giving me a bonus on my Disciple of Hand for my lovely box of pretty things, which will give me a little under 2.5 million experience per turn-in, getting a pretty good amount. That will actually get me over a level and a half on my leather worker, and if I take a look at Emeliance as well, she does not have any bonuses for me unfortunately, but will still give me 1.6 million experience per collectible, and again, you can turn in 6 to her. Now you aren't forced to do these 2 in particular, please do any of the custom deliveries that you have. These are just the 2 that I have unlocked and maxed, which does get you a little bit of bonus scripts, but not experience, as long as you have a max relationship with them. What you should do is find the ones that have bonuses and use those ones. All of the previous expansions will give you the same amount of experience as they scale per level. Our final method, of course, is Grand Company turn-ins. They have to make it to every list. They are daily turn-in quests that your Grand Company asks for, where they ask for items for you to provide that give a large boost of experience, especially if they are marked with a star. If you're more of a fan of the passive, slow grind, GC turn-ins are the best for you. In your timer menu, which is Control U by default, click on your next mission allowance to be able to easily see what they require today and get all of the materials together before you visit to make it easier. Do whatever you need to do to get these materials. Sometimes you're able to buy them off of the market board for cheap, or sometimes they're just very simple crafts that you can do. Either way, some of these can provide up to an entire level, and they're definitely worth doing every day while you're trying to get everything leveled. But that's all. Thank you all so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you're a fan of my videos, and thank you to those especially who have been commenting and give me feedback and advice. I hope you all have a great time playing Dawntrail and get all your crafters and gatherers leveled as quick as you can. Bye!